I hate Corkus, and I know for a fact that I am not the only Berserk fan who thinks that. From the first time he appeared, to all the way to his death, he was a straight up asshole. He is such an easy to hate character, and that is the whole intention behind him. He is supposed to be hated and disliked by the reader. However, having said all that, even though I among many fans hate him, I still appreciate his placement in the story with what he represents and symbolises. If you remember, Corkus was actually the first band member to initiate some type of action towards Guts. After Guts had killed bazuso, Corkus, along with a few others, launched an attack on him to steal his money. It was this small conflict which caused Guts to attack back, which further led Casca to come attack him as well, and this all eventually led Guts to finally meet Griffith for the first time. So if Corkus never attacked Guts in the way he did, the Berserk world could look very different. However, that is not the main point I'm trying to express in this video. If I were to ask, who is the polar opposite character to Guts? I'm guessing most readers will simply say, Griffith. After all, he is the main rival of the story, and from his white character design, in contrast to Guts' black swordsman persona, he is designed to fit this duality role. However, if you look at this from a separate point of view, if you look at this from personality and behavior, I believe Corkus fits this mold in a different way. Firstly, in terms of inner character, Corkus represents someone who has a contrasting personality to Guts. He is a character who always shows off and parades about his ability and position. However, he does not have the confidence to back this all up, as we can see from the times where he really had the opportunity to show off his true strength and grit. He simply chose to run or lead others to do the work for him. And while Corkus shows this type of behavior, Guts is someone who hardly flosses his accomplishments, all while having the bravery to confront whatever is put in front of him head on. And stemming off of Corkus' low confidence was the way he always avoided being responsible or owning up to a situation. This side of him was best shown when Griffith lost the second fight with Guts. When Griffith was clearly outclassed by Guts, Corkus did not accept the situation. Instead, he was straight up salty, saying things like, "It's a fluke. It had to be. Damn it. I won't accept this." And having said all that, even though he might be a coward, and even though at times Corkus didn't seem to be anything but a hater, there were times he spoke the truth in a way which resonated with Guts. Perhaps the part of the story which revealed the most about Corkus' character were in the chapters One Snowy Night and The Morning Departure. These were the episodes where Guts, Corkus, and Judo spoke together in the bar about Guts' decision to leave Griffith. When Guts revealed to the pair that he had decided to leave the band, Corkus slammed him. He yells out that after risking his life on the battlefield countless times, thanks to Griffith and the band, the commanders were on the way to becoming nobles, something a commoner could not even dream of doing. Considering all of that, he states that it's unbelievable for Guts to want to throw that all away. He finishes off by stating that the only thing Guts knows how to do is swing his sword around and kill people. Interestingly, Guts doesn't retaliate in any way. He admits that what Corkus is saying is true, that swinging the sword was the only thing he knows and has known about all his life, and how that factor is exactly the reason why he is in his current predicament of not being able to stand Griffith looking down on him, and how he wants to find something truly his own. To this, Corkus is taken aback again. He shouts that Guts is sounding like a child, that he does not deserve the position he is in. At the end, he says the most revealing line: "Even if you're lucky enough to find it, only a small handful of people get to be winners. Normal people use their own strength and talents to come to terms with their real lives, and make do the best they can. There's plenty out there who say all you need is a dream. It makes me sick to look at assholes like that. All you need's a dream, huh? That's something weaklings who can't say the truth say. And unrealized dreams, just a load of crap, straight out of the horse's ass." To this, Guts simply replies, "You don't have something like that?" Corkus is visibly taken aback when he hears this. After the exchange, he decides to leave, and Judo tells Guts. In spite of all of that, he used to lead a band of thieves. Well, it was only about 10 men, and times were tough. They crossed the band of the Hawk, and sure enough, got put in their place. Ever since then, he's been one of ours. While no big deal, maybe there was something he too wanted to win for himself. This is a very crucial fact, which explains a lot as to why Corkus is the way he is. Although the group may have been small, Corkus did indeed used to lead a band, instructing all the decisions, but after crossing paths with Griffith and the band, he was put in his place and submitted to Griffith. As Judo says, maybe there was something he too wanted to win for himself. My interpretation of this whole argument was that Corkus's venting session wasn't driven out of a genuine warning for Guts, or from a motive to pin him down. It was simply done out of pure jealousy and envy. Through Guts, Corkus saw the exact embodiment of someone who he actually wanted to be. Someone who, unlike him, was responsible, valiant, while also having the strength and power to back it all up. He desperately yelled out that Griffith was special, and that he was different from people like Guts and him, because he was insecure and reluctant to admit the fact that Guts was special in his own right. His frantic yearnings were a plea to stop Guts, because he knew deep down that if anyone did have the ability to find their own path, or to find something truly their own, apart from Griffith, it was not himself, it was only Guts. Corkus did not want someone to succeed in something he failed at. He didn't want Guts to achieve something which at one point he was aiming for. All of the negative traits of Corkus can be linked back to his obvious inferiority complex. For those who don't know, an inferiority complex, as the name suggests, is a basic feeling of inadequacy and insecurity. As for what led Corkus to have an inferiority complex, my guess is that when he led the group of thieves, Corkus acted like some untouchable leader, but after being overshadowed and submitted by Griffith, he became one of the many people who had their dream absorbed by Griffith's vision. Through this, all his self-confidence and all his hopes to realize his dreams were diminished. He simply puts others down and tries to hype himself up to mask or hide this insecure part of him.